Good morning. Welcome to part 3 of going over my Bernina. Right now I'm going to go over some of the accessories that came with my Bernina. I got a bag of feet and threads, which I have here on my Surface that I'm working on. This is not my typical sewing machine, or sewing room. I'm sewing in my dining room, but mostly because I was trying to watch Christmas movies last night while sewing. Anyway, I also got this case, which has some stuff already loaded into it. And then I got a manual and an accessories book, which this actually just goes over all the different things that I might want for my machine, and then it kind of shows the compatibility, and then a warranty certificate. The other accessories that came with my machine were maybe like a cord, the foot pedal, and then this job, which I did show in one of the other videos. This allows you to have like a table to sew on. So we're going to go over all these different things. In my little bag of accessories, I got some Metler thread, black, white, and red. I got a couple extra Bernina bobbins, which this is the same size as my old machine, so I literally have probably about 30 bobbins. I'm good on those. I also got some presser feet. I got a zipper sewing foot. This attaches to the shank that is on my foot pedal, or my sewing machine now, and I can show how to attach that later. This one is for sewing a trim or thread on. It actually hooks here, or maybe it's for gathering. I maybe have to look this one up. But you hook it here and then you sew over it with a zigzag stitch, and then these little grooves in the bottom of it allow you to like sew over it smoothly. But maybe I'll look up some different features for that and feature these individual feet by themselves. This is for a rolled hem. This little pin almost looks like a serger. It stabilizes the edge while you're sewing, and so then you get a nice smooth edge as you're doing an overlock stitch. Number 5, this is probably my favorite, and I used to use this one all the time, still use it a lot. It is for edge stitching, so your fabric would be guided under here, and then you'd be able to stitch right next to the edge of your thing evenly. It really adds a finished quality to your product, which is awesome. A little tube of oil, just in case I didn't have any. That little spool of thread was added. I got a new Bernina seam ripper, which is great because usually I don't know where to find mine. And then a manual to show me what all these different things are for, which is awesome. And then inside this little case, I have already put a few needles that came with my sewing machine. This is a thread cap for actually, I'm not really sure what that's for. It doesn't have the little tightener. I need to look up what that's for. This is a thread cap. It does have the little tensioner that holds it on. That's a small one. There's an ultra tiny one. This is for like a big fat spool where the thread can come off any end. A little screwdriver. Lint brush. This is like a seam hopper, if you will. Like if you were sewing, say, I don't know, like a hem on denim or something, and you needed to raise or lower the back or the front of the presser foot, or maybe the one side of the presser foot, so that it could sit level as it is sewing over something bulky. You just slide this under temporarily, sew over that little area, and then maybe even move it if you need to move it back or forward. And then a little hex tool here. Actually, it's kind of a star tool. So those are some of my accessories. I'm going to pause that for just a second. All right, I just put all of my stuff back into my little case here. And then this also came in my little bag with the book. So this is actually all different stitches that are available programmed into my machine. And if you'll see here, I actually have a lot more decorative stitches than I realized. This is where that little single unit image comes in handy, or mirror image. So say I want to flip these scallops so that the straight side is on this side instead of this side. And so then I would use that mirror image flip button. And then the other, like the single unit, would be this button right here, where it's just going to sew one and then it's going to stop. So like on that little snowflake, it would sew one snowflake and then it would stop at the very end of it. So then instead of like sewing to the end of your thing and then going, oh, I don't really know where I am at, but I'm going to turn this corner and keep sewing snowflakes, and now it's backing up because it's mid snowflake, it just would be a little bit frustrating. Just kind of a nuance of detail that would make it look, I don't know, maybe a little crappy. This is the foot pedal that came with it. I have to say, this is probably one thing that I'm a little bit disappointed about. The old foot pedal had this really cool feature. This is my original 22-year-old one, 21-year-old one. The back of the foot pedal, if you press it once, it will take 1 stitch, which this one also does. You press it once, it takes 1 stitch. Oh, look, it's even, I didn't realize it was connected. Right, okay, so it takes 1 stitch. Oops, 1 stitch, 1 stitch, 1 stitch, 1 stitch, which is wonderful. This old foot pedal, if you press the front of it, it will take a half of a stitch. So if your needle's up, it will go down. If your needle's down, it will come up. I was telling you guys in my video earlier that, or I think it was part 1, the needle down position, it will always stop down. And now that this foot pedal does not have this feature to press the front of the foot pedal, it does not press down, it does not raise the needle. There is no way to raise the needle here except by cranking this handle, which I don't think I've touched my handle on my other Bernina in 21 years because you don't have to. There's no reason ever to touch the handle because you press the foot pedal to operate the needle up or down, which is just awesomely wonderful. Anyway, I think, and maybe I'll test that right now. I think that I might be able to hook up my old foot pedal because I think that's just a nicer foot pedal. Like I could buy one in my little accessories book here and connect it to this machine. So maybe we'll do that in the next video. We'll see if that works. What else came with this machine? Oh, the table tray. This slides on here, which gives you that like working surface that's a little bit bigger for larger projects. And then if you take it off for like things like sleeves or maybe little projects, or maybe you just don't even like using it. This is another accessory that came with it. This is the larger spool cap. This is probably the one that I use the most often, especially for if I have like a cheaper Coats and Clark one. I'll actually put it on backwards, especially if I have the big spools, because sometimes that thread will get stuck right in the little slit, and then it gets jammed up, and it's just really annoying. This is an accessory, but this actually folds down and hides right there. And then as far as accessories go, that's what this machine came with. And really, it's enough. It's plenty. It's everything I need and more, because I didn't even know it came with all those stitches, which is exciting. So cheers. Have a great day. Subscribe and like so that you can see future videos, not just on sewing stuff, but just living our Alaska life, wilderness, outdoor stuff. We post all different things. So thanks so much for following, and I guess lunch is ready.